So usually this is all carried out in real life, but obviously because of COVID, as Sean mentioned before, we had to do this online actually through meetings with like Google Documents and like Google Slides. Yes, and of course, there's the whole entire aspect of event organization. So for many of us, this is actually quite a major operation, and it was like our first time planning these sort of events. So we were exposed to a lot of like leadership opportunities, and there's a lot of room for growth for all of us. So, and then like I said before, especially with COVID, there were a lot of changes to everything. So like things couldn't be finalized until like the last minute sort of thing, and like one of our com members, Rayhan, he actually got like a stay-at-home notice the day before TDSS. So we had to, it was like panicking and we just had to adapt really quickly. But in the end, changes were made and like Ray became a facil for the online team, that sort of thing. So we had to like, I guess, we had to show, I guess, adaptability in this whole entire process, which is something that I think, you'll learn, and it's an insight that it's an experience that you can really glean a lot from. Yes, so as you can see, we use Zoom. We had to really familiarize ourselves with Zoom for our session with our guest of honor, which you can see at the top, Ms. Grace Fu over there. Yes, so you can, we're all panicking before the dry run, but it was okay. Yes, it worked out. It was really chaotic, but I think it was very fulfilling in the end. So if you can see as well over here, here's some pictures of the actual day itself. Yes, and like I said before, like COVID really did disrupt our plans. So like, for example, our pre-conference session, we had to use like the classrooms instead and break up into smaller groups instead of using like the auditorium or the lecture theaters because of like the number of people in the room. And then we also had to use online platforms such as Kahoot to engage participants. But, I think it really did work out in the end because as you can see, our facilitators from all the other arts classes are leading and engaging with a class of about 20 to 30 people, and it was quite an enriching discussion across the board. So yay, it went pretty well, yeah. And I think like a huge takeaway for me in particular, like being a part of OCOM, was really like the relationship that I formed with people around me. So I had the opportunity to work closely with people, not just in my class, but like across the whole entire arts cohort and our seniors as well. So we were bonding together through like like all the hardships and successes over like the 5 month journey that we had planning this whole entire event. And I think the most important part was that like I really made friends along the way that I think I'll treasure for years to come. So it really made the experience worthwhile. Yeah, so that's in short what TDSS is about. I'll be handing the time now over to Caleb, who will continue sharing more about other aspects of PhD.
All right, hi, I'm Caleb, and I'm here to share with you guys about the humanity journey. Before we move on, I think I'd like to clarify that in the THP we have 3 different committees. So there is the identity team, there's the TDSS, and there is STRIP. So when you join the Temasek Humanities program, you will be given a spot in either one of these 3 different committees. But that doesn't mean that you are not able to help out or be a part of and play a major role in the other committees as well. So for example, I was part of the EXCO for the Humanity Journey this year, but I also acted as a moderator for the Temasek Distinguished Speaker Series. So right now, you don't really have to worry too much about missing out on certain things because there are certainly plenty of opportunities for you to take part in almost everything. Yeah, so it really depends on what do you want and how you're willing to spend your time here. Okay, so oh yeah, by the way, please feel free to type in any questions if you guys are curious about anything. We don't want to keep it too formal here. Yeah, so if you have anything that you're curious about, just please feel free to sound off. All right, so there's something called the Humanity Journey that takes place every year here at TJC. This will comprise of various students from the art stream cohort, and we will be going overseas, usually at the end of the year, at around end of November to early December. So if you enter the Temasek Humanities program, you'll be automatically given a guaranteed spot in this humanity journey, and you'll be able to play a major role, be it in the EXCO or being a group leader as well. Next slide. Yeah, so I think one key feature about the humanity journey is that us students are given a lot of autonomy and freedom to choose what we want to do, where we want to go, and what and how we learn different aspects of the humanities across various disciplines. So I think this is very reflected uh, as you will find out later. One thing in common that you see from these flags on your screen is that these are the countries that we have been and have been selected by each individual committee every year. We are given the ability to choose which country we want to visit that year. And I think that's very important as I don't think this freedom and ability to choose what we want to learn is given in many different places. And I think this is very rare, and you can only find this here in the humanities program. So in light of the recent pandemic, we had no choice but to hold our humanity journey here locally in Singapore this year. Next slide. Yeah. So even though we weren't able to decide which country to go, we definitely put together and made a very impressive and very diverse humanity experience for our participants. Next slide. So this is a slide from our seniors who went over to Taiwan 2 years ago. Yeah, so as you can see from the bottom image, this group actually planned to experience the local bubble tea culture in Taiwan, and they went to experience different bubble tea making workshops, and here they are trying out the bubble tea that they made. So yeah, you actually have a lot of freedom to pick and choose what things that you like to explore, and that obviously stays even though the trip may be local as well. Next slide. Yeah, so these are the photos taken from last year's humanity journey, which happened not too long ago. We as you can see from these pictures, I can go through each of them one by one. The one at the top left corner, we went on a trip to explore the neighborhood of Geylang and to learn more about their history, their demographic, and the issues that surround many different communities and people who live there. Yes, and that ties in with certain themes that we like to that we choose to explore. And for last year's humanity journey, we explored sustainability, inclusivity, and the value of the arts. So us going to Geylang was tied to the theme of inclusivity and how Singapore treats its migrant workers. So as you can see from the images at the top two images, one in the middle, one to the right, we have invited many esteemed and distinguished people from the art scene all across Singapore to come down to have talks with us. So we have Kenny Leck and Cyril Wong, if you may know them, a bookstore owner and a very distinguished poet as well. And we also have Thomas Lim, a local playwright. From the bottom image, we had a terrarium making workshop in line with our sustainability theme. And at the bottom right, we also have we contacted a farmer from New Zealand, and he gave us a Zoom tour of his farm, and he told us about how his efforts towards sustainability when it comes to farming in New Zealand. Next slide. And yes, I also like to remind you guys that all these programs and events were planned by the committee and were carried out by us as well. So if you really want to, if you have something that you're passionate in and you want to explore, you can also bring that to the table when it comes to creating programs in the humanities program. Anyway, the final part of our humanity journey trip is the hackathon, which takes place on the last day. So what the hackathon is that we the whole humanity journey cohort gathers together in the hall. We split into different groups and we try to brainstorm and try to create a VIA project for us to be able to execute next year. So we are able to brainstorm and come up with something that we want to do as a group, and decide a VIA and come up with a VIA project and pitch it to our fellow students and teachers. So as you can see from the next slide, we have there were 8 groups who took part in this hackathon, and 2 of these groups have been selected to execute their VIA projects this year. So there is Project Readable, which I am a part of. We aim to make reading accessible to those with dyslexia by opening up libraries for them to be able to find books that are dyslexia friendly for them. And the second project that was picked to be executed this year is Sign of the Times, Memory Through Art. So what this project aims to do is that they will try to preserve and select different things about TJC that they are iconic and they are precious to them, and they will immortalize them through different products like bags, pins, etc., etc. And this will be used to remember and to I would say highlight the value of the memories and the culture and the important and the small things but important things that we see in our campus every single day. Next slide. So I would like to share with you guys the two reflections that that some of our students from the humanity journey made after the journey. I think these two reflections were very insightful on how the humanity journey has impacted not only themselves but their view of the world as well. So you guys can take a little moment to read this, and I think I can give a little bit of a commentary on that as well. So I think what they echo for the humanity journey is that it really opens up our eyes and our horizons to see that there are many other things that are going on outside of our campus. There are many issues that are very big, they're very challenging, and us as students, we might feel that we're very small and we don't really have the ability to take these on and to think of how to make a better future for those around us. But I think the humanity journey challenges that concept, and through exploring these different issues, we are given a certain sense of hope that we are able to take these on in the future, and for us to be able to utilize the things that we learned in the classroom and take them out to help those around us. Yeah, so I think that if you really want to challenge, if you want to broaden yourself, expand your horizons, and to tackle on the things that you see around you in the world, and not just be confined to your within your classroom and your campus or your exam table, I think that humanity journey is a great place for you. So I think this brings me to the end of my sharing about humanity journey. I'll now pass the time over to Ariel. Oh yeah, before that, the trip will be happening this year as well. So if you join us, you will also be taking part in this humanity journey. We are not sure whether we'll be able to go overseas this year, but we will closely monitor the situation, and we will decide in the near future with you. So please do join us and see what we can come up with together this year. And without further ado, I'll now pass the time over to Ariel, who will be talking about the various opportunities and scholarships that will be available to you.
Hello, so I'm Ariel. Next slide. And basically, I'll be talking about the various opportunities that we have. So one of the opportunities that we get is basically thought leadership. So for example, we have this capstone research. So this is actually the humanity event at TJC last year, sorry. So our 0119 seniors actually came up with various topics that they were interested about, and basically did up research and formulated proposals. So here you can see there are different topics. So about the paradox of choice in the bubble tea in Singapore, and also about is the belief in God properly basic. So the seniors and the students will basically get an opportunity to choose the topics that they are interested in, and then basically explore it in the various disciplines, so using the humanities. And here are two other examples of the topics that the students chose. Yeah, so here are some other photos from the event as well. So as you can see, it's a lot of student initiative. It's a lot. The MCs are also us actually. Yeah. Okay, so now we're talking about the talent development program. Basically, this program is when you're in the THP, you're basically included in it automatically. And it will basically give you portfolio building, personal branding, interview skills, networking skills, and active mentoring. So this is really, really important because like the next step after JC is university, and you want to start thinking early about what course you want to take and whether you actually have sufficient portfolio and experiences. So this program basically does just that. And yeah, so you get to participate in a lot of workshops, like for example, building up your interview skills or having exposure to different scholarships in Singapore. So for example, having like the public service commission scholarship, and there will basically be workshops and trainings to build you up for it lah, basically. Okay, next. So this is a picture of our students at with our perm sec of finance, Miss Tan. So basically they got an opportunity to go and interview her, which also shows how like the experiences that are given to our students are really a lot and very bountiful as well. Okay, so this is the MOE Humanities Scholarship. So basically under THP, right, this is different from the THP scholarship. So this is actually by MOE. THP is internal from TJC. So if you are in HSP, you will most likely be in THP as well, unless yeah. But anyway, so basically you get 2K allowance, which means 1K per year. And then there'll be a subsidy for the humanities journey that Caleb mentioned just now, and you have full school fees covered. So basically, one of the conditions that you need to fulfill though is that your academics has to be, you need to have at least 52 rank points for every like major exam, so like promos or mid-years. Yeah. And for this is TJC's Academic Excellence Scholarship. So it's offered to Singaporeans or PRs, but you need to have an L1R5 of raw 6, and you get 2,400. Okay, then this one is actually the TJC Arts and Merit and Arts Award. So you basically need an L1R5 of raw 7, and you get 1,100. Oh, you have a question. Do I say no? Oh yeah. Uh, mm,
Okay, I see that I see that you have a question here. Is it very risky to take H2 Lit if I didn't take Lit in upper sec? Honestly, no, it's not really risky at all. We have quite a few students in the Temasek Humanities program who have never taken Lit in their lives and have taken on H2 Lit. In fact, our top scorer right now, currently, has never taken Lit in her life. Yeah, so I think I don't think it's really risky. Our teachers are more than prepared to build you from the ground up, and you'll be up to speed really, really quickly.
Okay, so I'll continue first. Okay, so then after that scholarship, right? Apart from like coming from for the scholarships and the money, but I think most importantly is come for the people lah. So basically, this is a picture of our class, and I think like in THP you have a very strong support system lah, especially next year because we are your seniors. So yes, please come, then we can talk to you more. Yeah, so you can always look for us. We are always just next door. Yeah, so don't worry. And yeah, and so here are some of our teachers. Our teachers are also really, really caring. And I mean it. Like, I don't just anyhow say, cause like yeah, it's very like common to just say that like open house, oh the teachers are very nice, no. But like I genuinely mean that the teachers are very nice. And I think that's like super important lah. Cause if you don't feel supported and you don't feel that like your education is being like you are not alone in your education journey lah. Basically, the teachers are here to give you the advice and academic rigorous support you need. So yeah, don't be afraid. Cause JC is tough, but the teachers will help you too. Okay, so that's basically all, and we hope that we can see you next year.